Girls can wear jeans and cut their hair short. Wear shirts and boots, because it's okay to be a boy.
But for a boy to look like a girl is degrading, because you think that being a girl is degrading.
Secretly, you'd love to know what it's like, wouldn't you?
Gender. What is it? In order to define it, we first need to differentiate between gender and sex. Often people assume that gender and sex are the same thing, that they are synonymous terms. However, gender and sex are much different, much like north and south, or happy and sad. Sex is a biological term. It refers to our primary biological characteristics, such as XY or XX chromosomes, and to our secondary characteristics such as testicles, breasts, facial hair, etc. When referring to sex, we use the term male and female. When humans are pregnant, about to have a child, the first thing we want to know is it a boy or a girl? But why is this the first thing we ask? Why does it matter so much? That is where gender comes in. Gender is the label that comes along with sex. So with sex, we use the terms male and female. These are natural. We are generally born one or the other. Gender, on the other hand, uses the terms boy, girl, man, woman, masculine, feminine. They are labels that we give male and females. These aren't natural. They are given to us by society. Essentially, gender defines what each sex ought to and ought not to be doing. For example, society tells us that males are supposed to be masculine and females are supposed to be feminine. So essentially, sex and gender is a matter of social forces versus biological forces. Thus, whether or not we are having a male or female matters to us, so we can make decisions such as: do we paint the child's room pink or blue? Or should we buy trucks or Barbies for toys? We do this without questioning it, because we want our children to be accepted in society. If we're thinking blue is for boys and pink is for girls. Therefore, parents are the first socializing agent. By teaching our kids that this is for boys and this is for girls, children growing up thinking that this is natural.
Do girls have short hair or long hair?
Long hair.
Are you a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Are you ever going to be a girl?
No.
What are boys like?
I don't know.
Are they different than girls? How are they different than girls?
Because they don't put stuff like girls on.
Boys don't put on girls' clothes?
No.
Can girls put on boys' clothes?
No.
Alexis, are you a boy or a girl?
A girl.
Are you ever going to be a boy? Are you a boy or a girl?
Boy.
Are you ever going to be a girl?
No. Boys are better than girls.
Why?
Because boys are stronger than the girls sometimes.
What would happen if you put on a dress?
All the girls and all the boys will laugh at me. I won't look like a boy, that won't look like a girl.
Would it be okay?
No way.
Young children appear to begin to acquire gender role stereotypes at about the same time that they develop gender identity. And by the age of 3 or 4, most children, when asked questions about the activities appropriate for a male doll and a female doll, readily give stereotypic responses.
Which doll likes to clean the house?
This one.
Who takes care of the babies?
This one.
Who goes to work?
This one.
We are not born into our gender, woman or man. We become woman or man. If we were born into a world in which there was no such thing as gender and socializing agents telling us to conform to these genders, then we would all be free to be who we are, and there wouldn't be any difference between males and females besides physical ones. As we get older, other socializing agents besides family start to reinforce this idea of gender and gender roles. One of these is media. The mass media is one of the most powerful socializing agents, especially since in our gender, we are high consumers of media. The media contains a predominance of popular cultural images, often reinforcing gender stereotypes and defining social constructs. These stereotypes influence constructs around identity, leadership, and ultimately how we define ourselves. There are many examples of stereotypical gender roles within various media. In film, for example, movies like Iron Man, James Bond, and Fight Club show the stereotypical masculine roles and send out the message that men ought to be strong, brave, and unemotional, to be considered masculine and accepted in society. Similarly, movies such as Disney fairy tales also disseminate messages surrounding women and femininity, in which in order to be feminine and thus accepted into society, females ought to be weak, submissive, and emotional. Advertisements are another key media example that reinforces gender roles. Gender-normative TV ads are an example of this. Here we see a young girl dressed in pink and playing dress-up. Here is a Lego commercial where the boy is wearing blue and playing with trucks and cars. Advertisers depict women and men in tradition-bound roles to promote their products.
Good day. Mom has a lot to do. Very busy. Okay, bye.
Glade introduces Fabric and Air, the new spray that penetrates deep and gives you a long-lasting freshness throughout your home.
Thank you.
Smells amazing in here.
Must be cleaning all day.
Come on into my home, sweet home. Rose petal cottage, a place of my own. I love when my laundry gets so clean. Taking care of my home is a dream, dream, dream. In Rose petal cottage, my home, a place of my very own.
Here's the new Barbie Dream Kitchen. You put it together. Day to night Barbie sold separately. It smells like cookies. We girls cook up a great party. Right, Barbie? Dream Kitchen, hot on the burner. Goodies to cook. Let's take a look. Turkey is fine. Just right on time. We girls can do anything.
Which doll likes to clean the house?
Stereotyping of physical characteristics can lead to reduced self-dignity. Stereotyping of role behaviors may lead to restricted opportunities of self-development, and stereotyping of occupational roles may lead to disadvantages in women's careers. This leads to gender inequality. Female representation in media has attracted more attention than male. This is because feminists have argued that the way females and femininity are portrayed in the media reinforce gender inequality. The ramifications are considerable, especially around how women identify and measure themselves and the resultant performance aspects of the feminine and what they are supposed to be and how they are supposed to act. For example, when women are portrayed staying at home and not working, they may feel as if they are not supposed to work, and men also get the attitude that they are not supposed to either. This is the root of gender inequality and part of the reason women have not been treated as equals in society. So it is obvious that media represents dominant gender roles with these messages, but how do these media messages get internalized in the first place? Media scholar Stuart Hall came up with the idea of encoding and decoding to explain this internalization of messages. He said that producers of media encode the message, called the preferred reading, to try and explicitly make that preferred meaning evident to the audience. We can either accept the preferred meaning or we can decode it in other ways.
If I were a boy, even just for a day.